Hey guys, I promise that I will be bringing combustion engine, heavy duty combustion engine lectures to you guys. And that is because so that anybody who is looking to really, um, looking to pursuing a career as an automotive professional, you can really start. And the aim of this study is not to teach you how to fix vehicles. The aim of this vehicle is to take you from fixing small cars to fixing heavy duty trucks. So, if you are already fixing cars and you are interested in switching from car to truck, this video will really help you. But if you have never fixed the car before, or you have never fixed the truck before, and you're looking to look into the automotive industry, this video is also for you because it is like a preparatory video to cover a lot of aspects. So I won't be talking too much about cars, right? But I will kind of go over, discussing the concepts of cars, the concepts of combustion engine, because you have to know that combustion engine, they are all the same thing, right? It's the same with the heavy duties, the engine system. But when it comes to heavy duties, there are other aspects of it that makes it a little bit broader, right? There are other aspects of it, right? The heavy duty part of it, that makes it heavy duty, that gives it the capability of lifting heavy tons of loads, right? So we'll be jumping into all those ingredients of heavy duties, but we will start from scratch just for those who, might not really know what is happening inside or outside of the vehicle, because that's how it really is when you newly, start thinking about the concept of vehicle. So I will, start from scratch. So we'll be jumping to the class. So join me as I take you on this journey. Hello guys. So welcome to the class. Don't mind the blackboard. It's actually blackboard, and I'm using a black marker. So let's see how we can work with this. Yes. So we have the combustion engine, right? The combustion engine. What is really the combustion engine? Combustion engine is that engine that is inside every of these cars or this vehicle you see moving around, right? That is what is inside. Be it V8, be it V6, be it V3, they are all combustion engine. Even the one you have in your bikes, Okada, they are all combustion engine. Yeah. So when you think about the vehicle, so here, just like I said, I will be explaining this like as if you don't understand anything about vehicles. So I tried to break it down into three parts. The entire vehicle. You have the chassis, What is the chassis? The chassis supports is what acts as a support system for your vehicle. It is a very important component for your vehicle. It is actually the support. It holds every other thing in place, right? That's where you drop your body, that's where you drop everything, that's where everything is tied, the chassis. So it's important. It's actually made of complete iron. It's iron, complete iron, the chassis. There's actually different types of chassis in your vehicle, but I really am going to be focusing on the most important one because that is the one that mostly concerns us. Just like I said, that I will be focusing mostly, on trying to drive you towards fixing heavy duties. So from this blackboard, we'll be seeing some physical engines and, seeing the physical components. But it all starts from this blackboard because if you don't have any concepts about it, this is a very good place to start. So what I have here is a conventional layout of a chassis. This is a conventional layout of a vehicle chassis. And it's actually the most common one, right? Most of your buses, most of the big vehicles you see, are made up of the conventional layout because it's pretty straightforward. What happens here is this is where the engine is laid out. Now you have your gearbox. Now you have a connecting propeller. Don't worry about all these things I'm mentioning in case you don't know them, but we'll get to all that and you will get to understand it. Just focus on the vehicle chassis. This is just a layout of the conventional chassis. And then you have the axle, the rear axle, and most times you have the front axle for heavy duties, but this is more important. The rear axle, right? So if you're already looking at this, you can beat your mind that you're almost seeing it looking like a vehicle. Why? Because this is a connection here, so this fall out and you could have a tire here and you could have another tire here, so that sums it up. This is what actually holds your back tire. This is your engine. This is front. This is front. And this is the rear. Right? So this is your gearbox. This is your engine. This is the conventional chassis. So you have other types of chassis like the front wheel drive and the rear wheel drive, and those are mostly common in cars. You see those in cars, right? When you see cars like your Corolla. When you see your Corolla, you know you're actually looking at a front wheel drive. And when you see some Jeeps, some of those Benz, you see that it's strong and agile. Most of them are rear wheel drive and sometimes both wheel drives, which is, front and rear wheel drive, right? Which you call the all wheel drive. Well, I don't want to bore you with all those plenty concepts. I want you to focus your attention on this conventional layout because this is what we'll be working with mostly, right? This is what we will be working with mostly because this is what all trucks, Mark, Howo, Photon, Isuzu, Volvo, Frontliner, keep naming all the trucks this is their conventional chassis layout, right? So I talked about the body frame, right? So the body frame, there's nothing too much here. It's just the body structure of your vehicle. The body structure of your vehicle. So, like your carb. So that's to tell you that this is the chassis. So the carb is placed on top of this. So when you see your vehicle, it doesn't just come the way it is. That like the carb is placed on top of it, right? So this is actually the main vehicle. So the carb, the body you're looking at, is placed on top of this. So this is what carries the body, right? I hope you're getting the concept and it's looking very simple because I tend to simplify this subject as much as possible. I don't want to complicate it, right? Now, let's move on to the drivetrain. The drivetrain. The drivetrain is what makes up everything that controls the movement of your vehicle. Like your gearbox, your engine, your axle, your propeller, your tire, all those are components of your drivetrain. So, because I don't want to rush us into all those juicy, complex thoughts about the engine, because we are going to be devouring the engine. We're going to be going into the engine and, picking out all the components one after the other and talking about each one of them one after the other. So that's how we're going to be taking this course. We're not going to be in a rush about, talking about everything. So I want you to understand every concept, every component inside the engine, one after the other. And I'll try as much as possible to pace it faster so that we don't spend too much time dealing with just one thing, right? So basically today I plan to cover just the chassis. So you can see that I did not only talk about the chassis, I've almost talked about the entire vehicle, right? I have almost talked about the entire vehicle because now you have your drivetrain, right? These are your drivetrain. Now you have your chassis that holds all these components. Now you have your carb. Let's say we'll put the carb here. The door, window, right? And your steering, right? Just imagine. So without further ado, we have to round up here, right? Um, we have to round up here, and I really appreciate you for checking this out, and I I am going to be compiling this type of video, to guide you in choosing your career if you are looking to switch and become an automotive technician. So thank you for joining me in this first day of our class, and see you on the next one. Bye bye for now.